Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Las Vegas Raiders WR Trey Tucker from the locker room post-loss to the Dallas Cowboys. We spoke to the Las Vegas Raiders WR Trey Tucker after the Silver and Blacks lost to the Dallas Cowboys in the locker room, and here is everything that he said. The Las Vegas Raiders completed their fourth week of the 2024 NFL training camp tonight by losing to the Dallas Cowboys at Allegiant Stadium in their second preseason exhibition game. Head coach Antonio Pierce decided earlier today that he had seen enough of the Silver and Blacks quarterback battle. He, along with GM Tom Telesco and OC Luke Getsy, have named Gardner Minshew as the team's new QB1. Pierce described his decision earlier today saying, "I'm going to go ahead and start off. Gardner Minshew is going to be the starting quarterback this 2024 season." Myself, Tom Telesco, and Luke Getsy discussed it this morning. A lot of things went into it. It wasn't based off the last night. There's a lot of factors, so we feel like Gardner gives us the best opportunity to get off to a fast start, and that's what we're going with. We support him, our teams behind it, our staff behind it, organizations behind it. So what stood out to Pierce in his choice of Minshew? Experience, the operation, the processing. The same thing we saw in practice, some of it showed up in the games. A lot of stuff we can get better at. I don't think anything here is a finished product, but based off the first quarter of the season, we feel like Gardner Minshew gives us the best opportunity. After the game, we met WR Trey Tucker in the locker room to discuss the contest. There's a solid chance you didn't plan on being thumped on the forehead by Kismet while watching what Keeman Hall was able to do for the Dallas Cowboys against the Las Vegas Raiders, by way of a pick six, but that's exactly what happened. If you're wondering what that is referencing, settle in for the explanation to come. But, first, Hall's reaction to the highlight of the day, a 69-yard interception return against quarterback Aidan O'Connell atop the fourth quarter at Allegiant Stadium on Saturday. "It felt great, just being in the right place at the right time, reading my keys and the quarterback taking me the ball," said the 27-year-old cornerback. "That feeling of going down the field, it's like you're in a tunnel, man. It took me back to college, because I hadn't had a pick six since college." A perfect segue by Hall to the promised explanation. Do you know who knew about Hall far before the entirety of Cowboys fans were formally introduced to him on Saturday evening? Owner and general manager Jerry Jones, that's who, and for one very good reason that predates Hall's time in the NFL by roughly 1 year. You see, the last time Hall had a pick six in a football game was on September 15, 2018. That's when Hall, playing for the University of North Texas, took on Arkansas and quarterback John Stephen Jones, a Texas high school state football champion, son of Executive Vice President and Director of Player Personnel Stephen Jones and grandson of Jerry Jones, and helped to lead Mean Green to a blowout victory that included a 24-yard pick six to take home the bacon against the Hogs. Claimed by the Cowboys off of the waiver wire early in camp following his release from the San Francisco 49ers, Hall is torn between playfully mentioning that pick six to John Stephen Jones, who is employed by the Cowboys and present in Oxnard, or the elder Jones is responsible for adding him to Dallas roster this summer. He prefers to take the angle of self-preservation ahead of roster cuts. "Not yet," said Hall when asked if he'd brought up that fateful play to any of the Joneses. "I saw Jerry after practice, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna hold back. Then again, it's possible that play is why Hall is here in the first place, the Joneses remembering what Hall is capable of and wanting to put him under the mentorship of Trayvon Diggs and Darren Bland, and the coaching of Mike Zimmer and Al Harris. "Yeah, maybe," Hall said, with a grin and a nervous laugh. It's been quite the journey for Hall thus far in the NFL. He's gone from enjoying the highs of his days at UNT to being an undrafted free agent of the Los Angeles Chargers, 2019, waived and then signed by the Minnesota Vikings, 2019, waived and then signed by the New Orleans Saints, 2020, waived and then signed by the Cowboys, 2020, and subsequently waived and then signed once again by the Chargers, 2021, where he was awarded live game action for the first time in the NFL. After playing in 18 games for the Chargers, the bulk of his work being on special teams, 334 total, with minimal defensive reps, 21 total, sent his way, Hall was waived by the Chargers and signed by the 49ers, 2023, before joining the Cowboys, again, this past July. With a journey like that, no one understands better than Hall that every single rep matters. "I've worked so hard to stay in the mix," he said of his NFL career. "And every opportunity that's come around, I try my best to capitalize on it, and I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for the opportunity right now. The pick six versus the Raiders is everything. I really want to be on the 53-man roster, being productive on the squad. I worked so hard in the offseason to stay in the mix. Even though things might not go my way, I got released, but God had something bigger for me. I just stayed ready, and when the opportunity comes, I try to capitalize." His success in Las Vegas was not a coincidence, film readily proving Hall's nose for the ball both in the 2 preseason outings and in practice, where he had a multiple interception day in Oxnard on August 6, grabbing one against Cooper Rush and the other against Trey Lance. When he isn't intercepting the ball, he's in the vicinity just narrowly missing out on one, and that's a testament to both his work ethic and, as noted, the teachings of a coach like Al Harris. "Al always preaches about the ball," Hall said of the Cowboys' assistant head coach and defensive backs coach. He said if you're not touching the ball, you're not doing something right. That's what he harps on every day. Once you get that mindset about the ball, you're gonna try to find it. It's just like second nature. And it's clearly exactly that, second nature, for Bland and Diggs as well. Hall in awe of what they're able to do on a football field and, as such, is a sponge soaking up as much of their aura and football IQ as he possibly can, seeing as, at no point in his arduous journey, has he ever been in a room and on a roster with a record-setting cornerback, let alone 2 of them at the same time. For Hall, this is a chance to inhale greatness with the hopes of exhaling some of his own in 2024 and beyond. Watching them operate every day, their knack for the ball, I just ask them questions like, "How'd you read that so fast?" said Hall. "They give you the game piece by piece and you just try to put it in yours and make plays." If what happened in Vegas is any indication, he's been taking notes. It's now on to the preseason finale against, guess who, the Los Angeles Chargers, with a chance at showing them they made a mistake, twice, in letting him go and that the Cowboys made the right decision in bringing him back this summer. It's kismet at its most cosmic level. The Dallas Cowboys could give quarterback Dak Prescott and wide receiver CeeDee Lamb contract extensions very soon, and doing so will be very expensive for them. Yet, there has been a prevailing belief that perhaps they won't pay Prescott and will let him become a free agent next offseason, at which point he could very well leave Dallas. While Prescott has said he's grateful to be with the Cowboys, former NFL receiver James Jones said he believes that his time with the team has run out. Watching Dak sit there, with those facial expressions, and say, "Yeah, I'm grateful, to me, I think my time here is up, dog," Jones said on Speak. Dallas has boasted one of the NFL's most talented rosters and has won 12 regular season games in each of the past 3 seasons. But the Cowboys have continually suffered losses in the early rounds of the playoffs, and something has to change if they are to seriously challenge for their first Super Bowl championship since the 1995 season. As it stands, they also have some real roster holes, as the team appears to be very top-heavy overall. Thus, giving big extensions to both Prescott and Lamb, and perhaps pass rusher Micah Parsons as well, could prevent them from being able to address deficiencies elsewhere. Prescott is arguably one of the NFL's best quarterbacks, And in 2023 he was third in passing yards, second in passer rating and first in completed passes and touchdown passes. So, despite playing far beneath his standards in big games and in the postseason, plenty of teams would undoubtedly be interested in his services should he ever hit the open market.